Thank you, Adi. And with that, I'd like to introduce Spencer with his speech, Visualization.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thumbs up if you've ever gotten worried and started to play out a negative scenario in your head. I've done this plenty of times, and I do this on the daily whenever I don't have much to do, like today. So one thing that's helped me is visualization. And visualization is defined as a mindfulness technique that uses the imagination in order to create a specific vision or image. And I want to cover 3 questions about visualization: why, when, and how you should visualize. There was a study conducted about basketball players, and there was 3 groups involved. First was the control group. They didn't practice at all. Second, there was a group that practiced in person shooting 50 shots a day. Third was a group that visualized making 50 shots a day. And after the conclusion of 6 weeks, everybody came in and tested how they did. And the first group, not practicing at all, no results. The group that practiced in person had moderate results. And that last group, contrary to your initial belief, actually had significant improvements and to the same level as those that were practicing in person. So why do I say that, and why is visualizing important to me? So in the sports world, it's huge to be able to make sure you're going to make the right move in the instincts, and you're not really able to think. But right now, we're not playing sports. So in these times of uncertainty and anxiety, I use visualization as a way to keep and create emotional autonomy. I say that because whenever I find myself in a negative state, I use calm, peace ideas of vacations with friends as a way to get back to a neutral state. And once I'm neutral, I can start thinking about my goals or things I want to achieve, because I'm in the right state for that. If I'm in a negative state trying to think about my goals, I'm just going to have those negative scenarios like we were talking about earlier. I really feel like visualization empowers you against those anxieties of life. You're able to create a vision that's outside of doubt, and it gives you a clarity of what you really want. And this can help you in times of stress, like right now, as well as later on in life when you're faced with big decisions. And that leads me to when it's helped me in the past. Athletic career, for sure. Like I'd already mentioned, basketball, football, and powerlifting specifically has helped a lot. In other ways it's helped though, whenever my back's been against the wall, whenever I took my gap year and I was working as a pizza delivery driver, and I was kind of unsure about my future, and I was seeing all my friends go to these cool universities or have these jobs that were making them feel like they were growing, and I felt stagnant. And so the only thing that really helped me get out of that time was visualizing a better future, and that later on led me to go to school again. So visualization, whenever it's used consistently, can really help you improve skill-based activity, like we'd already learned with the basketball study that I'd mentioned. So in a goal right now that I'm using, I want to squat 405. I can't do that in person right now because I don't have an access to barbells. So the only thing I can do for that goal is to visualize. So the best way to do that is to engage all 5 senses. So I'm getting into the squat rack, I'm smelling the weights, I'm hearing the weights clack on my back, the heavy, loud music that's in my ear that's getting me all frantic, and I'm feeling that nervous energy of, oh, I'm not sure I'm able to do this. But right before I go, I make sure I visualize. And in that time, I go down with that perfect form, and then I come back up just like I thought I would. The reason why I say adding those other senses is because it physiologically empowers you way more than that doubt that I talked to you about in the beginning. And with that, it allows you to create a vision that's much bigger and broader than you can what if about. How I go about visualizing specifically is to be in a distraction-free place, because if I'm trying to create something that is using all 5 senses, I need to be in a place that my physical body and all my physical senses are completely disengaged. I like to do it in my room, in my car, anytime I'm all alone, because somebody can really disrupt that vision you're trying to create. Lastly, I want to conclude with my 3 major points of today. Why you should visualize. It gives you emotional autonomy and empowers you in times of need. And athletic feature as well whenever we're able to get back to those times. When you should visualize, it's a matter of consistency. When you do it consistently, you yield results. If you're wanting to get better grades, you should visualize yourself getting that A on a test. Or if you're feeling anxious about driving, then you should visualize yourself making a perfect drive. It can be used in any scenario. How you go about it really should be in a distraction-free zone, engaging all 5 senses, so it's way bigger than your doubt. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster.